Okay, today we're going to create the iPhone 4. Let's go ahead and create a new standard IPT. And for our origin, we're going to use the XZ plane, so go ahead and use that. Create a new sketch, and then we're going to flip this to the top view so that we can see this from the top. Now I'm just going to make my rectangle, so go ahead and grab your rectangle tool and create a rectangle. Doesn't matter how big it is for right now because we're just going to dimension it. So the very first dimension is going to be 4.49, and the thickness is going to be 2.27, and then we're going to use fillet. And this is going to round the edges of the corner. So grab your fillet, and we're going to do a radius of 0.35. So change this to 0.35. And then we're going to round these edges here. So I'm going to zoom in, just scroll in a little bit. I'm going to click this line and then this line, and then the top and the side and the bottom, and the bottom and the other side, so that all these are rounded. Go ahead and finish your sketch, and we're going to extrude this. And we're going to extrude this in both directions, so go ahead and choose this button right here, which extrudes in both directions, and you'll be able to see a line down the middle of this. The thickness of our iPhone is going to be 0.24, and click OK. Alright. Now we're going to create the outer rim of our iPhone, so go ahead and use the XZ plane again and make a new sketch. And the sketch is right down the middle. If I looked at this from the right, we're slicing it right down the middle, so we're going to make the middle piece right here. What I want to do is go up here to where it says project geometry, click that, and then I'm just going to click this face right here. That's going to put an outline right here around our iPhone. So click the top view, and I'm going to hit F7 on the keyboard. And that's going to basically cut through our material so we can see what's underneath, and we have this yellow outline. Now I'm going to go to offset, and I'm going to click on my line, so highlight the line so that it's red, and just click this and pull it out. And the distance between here and here is going to be 0.06. And so I'm just going to go up here to my dimension, click this line, or yellow line right here, and then click this line, and then move this down. And this is going to be, edit the dimension so that it's 0.06. Alright. Now click Finish Sketch, go back to Isometric View, and I'm going to hit Extrude, and I'm going to extrude this outer ring right here. And I'm going to do it in both directions again. And this time, I'm going to make it actually this one is 0.24. Go ahead and click OK. The other extrusion was supposed to be 0.37, my mistake. So extrusion 1 is going to be 0.37. Go ahead and right click extrusion 1 and go to Edit Feature, and we can change this right now. So this one's going to be 0.37. Alright, so there's our basic shape for our iPhone. Now let's go ahead and add the front features on our iPhone. So I'm going to go back to my top view, click on this front face, and make a new sketch. And I'm going to put the screen on the iPhone first. So I'm going to grab my rectangle tool, and I'm just going to draw a rectangle right here in the middle of my iPhone. Make sure you don't lock onto anything. See how you get this dotted line locking onto this point right here? You don't want to lock onto anything, so just make your rectangle without locking anything on. And then I'm going to dimension it, and if you do lock on, you can just go back in time up here and go back. And this is going to be 2.02 inches. And the length is going to be 3 inches. That's how big the iPhone screen is. Now I want to dimension this to the lines of our iPhone, and so I'm going to dimension this line to this line right here, and this is going to be 0.13. And then I'm going to dimension it to the top as well. And that is going to be 0.74. So I'm going to click here and the top line. So I click the top of my rectangle on the top of this yellow line right here. And 0.74 is going to be this number. Very nice. So click Finish Sketch. And I'm going to hit Extrude. And I'm going to click this face right here. I'm going to go to isometric view so we can see this. Right now it's going up. We actually want it to go into the material. So just click this button right here. And I don't want to cut into it too much, so I just want a very, very, very small cut. So I'm going to go 0.000001. That's 5 zeros and a 1. Click OK. Now you won't notice any noticeable change right here, but there is a new face right here. And just to make sure that I know that that's there, I'm going to right click it, this new face, go to Properties, and I'm going to change this to Gray Dark. Click OK. And now there's my screen of my iPhone. Now let's go ahead and add the speaker here. I'm going to go to my top view, and I'm going to move this so I can see the top. And I'm going to make a new sketch right here on this face. And I'm going to grab my rectangle tool and draw my rectangle for the speaker. Now the rectangle is going to be 0.1 inches wide, or tall I should say. So I'm going to make this 0.1. That's this distance right here. And then I'm also going to make the length of this 0.44. And then we're going to have to dimension this from the sides as well. So click on the side to the side here. This is going to be 0.92. And how far away it is from the top is going to be 0.1. Oh, actually, sorry, 0.32. Okay. And I think that's about it. Now we're going to fillet the corners of this, and it's going to be 0.05, so go ahead and change that to 0.05. And then we're going to come in here and click these corners. You can either click the corner or you can click the line and then the other line. So either way you want to do it. Alright. Okay, so we got that down. This is for the speaker. Now let's do the camera. So for the camera, we're going to line it up with the middle of the circle. So just follow this dotted line. Make sure that you lock onto the center of the circle and come out here, and I'm going to click and just make my circle, and I'm going to dimension the circle to 0.1. And the distance between the center point of the circle and this edge right here is going to be 0.32. Okay, finish sketch, go to my isometric view, and I'm going to extrude this, both of these things we just drew. So go ahead and click on that, and click on that, and we're going to extrude it 0.05, and we're going to go this direction, so we want to cut into the material, and we're going to also click this More tab, and we're going to create a taper of -30. Click OK, and there is our speaker and our camera. Now we're going to modify these slightly. First thing I'm going to do is come in here to this circle. So here's my camera. I'm going to zoom way in here, click on this, make a new sketch, and I'm going to grab my line tool and lock onto the middle right here. And I'm just going to draw a line straight down the middle of my circle here. And I'm going to grab my, right click and go to done, delete this yellow line, and I'm going to grab my arc tool and lock onto the center of this circle right here, or the center of this line. So I'm grabbing my arc tool, locking onto the center of this line, and then follow it up to the top, click once, click on the other side, and then pull your arc out until it's lined up with this circle here, just on the edge here. So right there, click, go to finish sketch, and then click revolve. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. So we got a line and an arc around here. I'm going to hit revolve, and it automatically picks this face as the profile, but if you need to, click profile and make sure that this face is correct, and then click axis, and you're going to rotate it around this axis right here. Click OK, and now we got a little bulge out here for our camera. And for here, we're actually going to do this and the speakers at the bottom at the same time, changing the materials, so let's worry about that later. Now we're going to make the little button in here, and this is probably going to be the trickiest part of our process, but I'm sure that following along will be fine. So hit the arrow below plane here, and you're going to choose mid-plane between two parallel planes. Now you're going to click two sides of the iPhone, the right side of it, so go ahead and click this face right here, and then go around to the other side and click the opposite side face. What this does is makes a plane for us to draw on right down the center of the iPhone. Now, in order to make a sketch on this plane, you have to hit it on the edge so that it's red. You can't click on it on the center of the plane. So go ahead and go to the edge of it, click, and create a new sketch. And now we have a sketch slicing right down the middle of our iPhone. Before we go to the right side view, which we're going to do in just a moment, I'm going to hit project geometry, and I'm going to click this line of the iPhone right here. And what that's going to do, I'm going to zoom in really quick, is put a point right here so that I know how far away everything is from the bottom of the phone. Okay, now I'm going to hit my right view, and I can't see through this to my sketch, so I'm going to hit F7 so I can see through, and I'm going to zoom in, and here's the point right here, and here's my iPhone. Okay, so what I'm going to do is create a point. So I'm going to grab my point tool, and I'm going to follow along this old point that I have here. So make sure that you're locked onto that with a dotted line, and I'm just going to come off here just a little bit and click a point again. Now I'm just going to dimension between these 2 points. So I'm going to click this point and the point I just created, and the distance here is going to be 0.38. Okay, so our point moved down to 0.38. Now I'm going to make another point right along the side of this one, and click, and I'm going to dimension between these 2 points, and I'm going to make this 0.43 divided by 2. 0.43 divided by 2. Okay? So there's our next point. Now what I'm going to do is grab my line tool, and I'm going to lock onto this point and just move above it slightly. Just a little bit above it, but make sure that you're on the same line, a perpendicular line to here. Click, and I'm going to move this down into the body of the phone right there. Now I'm going to dimension from the point to the bottom of this, and this distance right here from the point to the bottom of the line I want to be 0.04. Now I'm going to grab my arc tool, and I'm going to click on this point on the very far right, make sure it's green and locked on there, click, and I'm going to click on the bottom of my line here, not on the next point. I'm going to click on the bottom of the line, click, and I'm going to pull my arc down like this. So just make sure you're not locked onto anything. Make sure it's loose. You can pull it down to here if you want. Click again, and then come up to dimension, and then you're going to click this arc, and you're going to have this little dimension line come up here. I'm going to click, and I'm going to make this arc 0.6. Alright. Now I'm going to take my line tool and I'm going to lock on to where my line is up here. I'm going to click, bring this over until I'm lined up with the top of this. Click again, and I'm going to finish it off to this point right here. So I got a little arc cutting into the phone, and then I've got this kind of square shape coming off. Make sure that you've locked on green every time. If you have any holes, it's not going to work. This line needs to be completely solid. This is what's going to create our little push button here. So I'm going to click Finish Sketch, go to my isometric view, and I've got this sketch that I can see poking out of the iPhone. So I'm going to go to Revolve again, and I'm going to select my profile as this. Make sure that this is selected. I'm going to click Axis, and I'm going to choose this middle line that we created. So here's our far line where the last point is. I want to choose the middle line where the arc swoops down. Click on that, and you're going to see material being created here, but what we want to do is do a cut like this. So we're cutting the material. Go ahead and click OK, and now we've got our button. Now this plane is going to kind of get in our way, I think, and so just hover over it, right click it, make sure it's red, right click it and go to visibility, and we won't see it anymore. You don't want to throw away this plane because you need it, but you can turn the visibility of it off.